Powering session and one global movement.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to One Global Movement, Building Hopes and Dreams, where we speak from our hearts for our children, young people, and women worldwide, for everyone. So, thank you guys so much again. Today is Tuesday, and I'm wishing everyone a trending, tenacious Tuesday. We have to be so firm and we have to make what we are doing here. Trending means to get to everyone, not trending the Hollywood kind of trending, but trending means we want to be able to share what we are doing here with the whole world so that every child can know and every family should know what we are doing here, but they cannot know if we don't share it, right? So that is very,
Mm-hmm.
very important. Mr. Partha is the one who's supposed to be here today. He says he's coming, but we're going to continue. Oh, excuse me, I just ate something. So he's wherever he meets us, that's fine. So we're going to continue, and then at the end, I will we will bring out some pictures to show, so that we are gradually working. If you some of you are musicians or whatever you can do, let us compose our own music here about One Global Movement. I have some songs that I've written, but I don't know how to compose music. So let us do our own because they're going to penalize us for not using our own songs. But eventually we'll find out. But building this foundation is priority right now, and then we keep moving forward. So thank you guys again for being here, and thank you for being that support and strong pillar, and thank you for loving children, because this is the time that the children need us more than ever before, because
Mm-hmm.
things are not getting better as we thought. And so coming together here, we pitch in little by little, however we can, beginning from our heart, and then we can be able to help these children the way that they need to be helped, or they can even just hear us giving them that voice of hope, that they know that somebody is really thinking about them, somebody is talking about them. Is very important because it begins with conversation. It
Mm-hmm.
begins with when you think about it, it comes through your mouth. The children will begin to hear something and they'll know that there is hope for them, and hope through One Global Movement. We thank our Mr. Ashmufare for really bringing us here together, because we have achieved the first step in Unpassive, according to me, which is bringing human resources together. Because if you bring human resources together in this way that he did, then there is nothing that we cannot do in the world. So thank you so much, Mr. Ashmufare. And thanks to the building team and his family that can really put up with him, giving him the space and time that he really needs to focus on what he is doing for humanity. So we are very grateful for that. Now, we are in the Mantle of Hope Revolution, part 248. Social
Mm-hmm.
media is making us unsociable. We all know that. Begin to write something in the chat. Remember, this is a conversational forum. In the chat on stage here, or if you need to come on stage and say something, that is okay too. Because if we are helping children, we have to give them choices. Children learn in different ways. We all do. We learn in different ways. And so when we expose these different ways, and then we are making sure that children will fit into what we are doing here, not just telling them, hey, you have this or this. No, then we are really, really undermining their sovereignty and undermining the resources that they have within them. So this is so important that we do that. The Mantle of Faith Revolution Part 248, social media is making us unsociable. Social media is making children unsociable. But we always say us because it starts with us. Whatever we do, the children are going to take exactly the same. Whether you're doing it in their presence or in their absence, they're still going to take it because we are interconnected through creation. They're going to take it. So,
Mm-hmm.
and here's what I have to say. Social media connects us in seconds, right? But true connection needs more than that a screen. Let's not let our devices build walls where bridges should be built. In a world where every click and order, right? In a world where every click can feel like a conversation, let's remember that genuine friendships need more than digital exchanges. Real bonds thrive offline. And when we talk about this, we think about the first 7 years of a child's life. Very, very important. That foundation, we must never, never miss it. Even we do because of one thing or the other. Those that pick up after these children, maybe because the parents are sick or maybe because the parents are no more, let us continue to build that foundation. When you build that first 7 years, that is so important. And there is really no need to give a phone to a child at that age. We know that there are toy phones, of course, toy phones that can teach them how to say the ABCs. That is good. Or how to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That is better. But giving the child a real phone, by nature, those kids, their fingers, they punch buttons more than anything. They just know. Because how is it that a child will punch 911 or most of the time? We don't know. So the psychology is there. So let us make sure that we build this foundation physically with love, inclusion, choices before they start learning about the internet. When likes and follows become the new currency of worth, like, follow me becomes a new currency of worth. We lose sight of the beauty in face to face smiles. Therefore, let us reclaim real relationships and nurture the human touch within us and our children. And social media is a window into the world. Of course, it is. It is a window and a very good window, but it can never replace stepping outside. When you sit here, you don't take the initiative to step outside, to really get the fresh air, to really admire nature. Social media is not going to help you do that, but it can never replace stepping. You will never replace your stepping outside. Let's balance our digital lives by embracing the power of presence. It's okay if children are away in school, right? That is understandable. That is why we talk about balance here. It's understandable. We can write, we can connect with them through social media. That's fine. But when they are home, we are in the same place. Let us utilize human connection and let us work. We train our children to work in blocks. Okay, this is time to interact with family, with your siblings. This is time to eat supper together. This is time to go online and do what you need to do. And here, I really want to warn people, social media is not a bad thing. God created this technology, but also embedded ethical values with this technology. These two must go together. It is us humans that make it bad. And therefore, we need to start helping ourselves in order to help our children. When the very first day that they take the first breath of life, what are you saying to that child? What is that child looking at? Is that child looking at the screen, passing their eyes like this? You're going to condition their eyes to be doing things that are not okay. So that is very, very important. So social media is a window into the world. That is very good, but it can never replace stepping outside. Let's balance our digital lives by embracing the power of presence. Scrolling feels time, right? Have you ever known me? I know I'm guilty. You just go scrolling up and down, scrolling up and down. In the end, you're tired. You don't even know what you were doing. When you're tired, you get frustrated, and you know that there are things that you're supposed to do. But you spend your time scrolling up and down. And then you end up frustrated. You end up being angry at yourself. You end up looking low on yourself because you didn't get anything done. I had that feeling before, but now, no. No 1 minute, I can never waste it anymore now that I know. So scrolling fills time, but soul filling happens with real people. You want to feel your soul, you feel it with real people. Social media may link us, but life's truest connections are made in the moments we share offline. Offline. Have you ever compared when you meet somebody? Now I'm meeting you guys here, but it's going to be different when I meet you guys in person. It is going to be different because that's the way that we humans were created to connect physically first. Online is just an aid. if we can use it that way. It's an aid. It's not a way to replace that, right? So true connection doesn't need Wi-Fi, right? It needs eye contact. It needs laughter. It needs warm hugs. It needs the warmth of human presence. It needs the kisses here on the cheek or on the forehead or wherever you want to kiss in the appropriate way, and the person too. And let's make space for what social media cannot provide. Remember, social media, like money, is a tool. And when you're giving a tool, you must use it ethically. If you're not using it ethically, what you want that tool to give you is not going to give you. It's going to give you what is not good for you. And you end up frustrating your own self and frustrating the children. So if we use it as a tool, because there are the guidelines for the way we should use all the social media platforms. There are guidelines with artificial intelligence. The kind of information that is put there by those who put it there must carry within them the spirit of human kindness, must carry within them love, peace, unity, solidarity, and equality. And therefore, we need to use it along those lines as well. If we don't do it, it becomes abusive. Now you see hackers, now you see predators, now you see all kinds of people online luring our children, and even us. We fall victims. They dupe you out of your money. How would somebody stay in a different country? Yet they scam you, scam about $100,000 out of you, because we are so much desperate, thinking that the social media, the outside world is more important than what we have. When you put your human connection in check, when you put it in balance, you will know, is this worth it? Why am I sending this money to this person that claims to love me so much, when it's a fake something, because you've never even met that person, yet you're using social media to send that money quickly? Know that social media is a tool. If we use it well, it's going to serve us better. If we use it badly, it's going to serve us in ways that it might be difficult to reclaim. So that is very important. Our digital networks are vast. It is so vast. I am amazed. I wasn't born with this big technology. I am so amazed that, but thank God that I'm using it for a good cause. Otherwise, I have no reason to be online. It doesn't bother me whether people like what I'm doing or no, or they don't like. It really doesn't bother me. Sometimes Facebook is wanting, you have not replied to this. I'm like, I don't have to reply to every like or follow. But because it's the norm of the day, now I sometimes I do it, because when you are doing something great, something that uplifts humanity, something that is for children and women, you don't even care. You just know within you that you're doing something great and it is helping people. The world doesn't really have to know, but hey, here we need to make the world know who we are. And so we must use social media for the right reason, not just using it for the wrong reason, right? So social media is a powerful tool, but let's not let it be the only lens through which we see each other. It should not ever be the only lens that we take to see each other. Authenticity is found in real moments, not post. You see, people get mad when they say, oh, I post my thing, they didn't even like me. Who do you want them to like you? You have your family, you have yourself to like yourself, you have God. Why do you depend on people to like you? Nobody has to like you. They don't owe you anything. If you don't like yourself, that is how you behave. You get mad because people didn't like your post, they didn't respond. No, all of that is fake life. And for me, I don't really believe you like, that's fine. I thank God for that. If you don't, that's fine too, because you also have your own self to take care of and also like your own thing. So if we are doing things for the sake of humanity, this means that you do things without strings attached. You do things without expecting gratitude. But gratitude is a good thing. If we can, let's do it. But if they don't give it to you, do not hate people. Do not go mad. Do not ask for it. Do not tell people, see, I did this, I did this, I did this. But look at, they're not doing anything. And this is the way people live fake life. And when you live a fake life, it is very unhealthy. You start developing emotional disturbances. And we don't want that. But the number one thing here is let us train ourselves and our children to know that social media is a tool. It is an aid. Like we repeat here, as Sister Yvonne, striking a balance with social media is very important. With any other thing in life, you cannot overdrink tea or coffee. You can't overdrink even water. Water is life, but if you overdo it, it's going to bring you a problem. Just like if you overeat, just like if you overdress, you need to know, okay, this occasion I have to dress like this. During this weather, I have to dress like this. If you don't do, the consequences are always there. So we want to strike a balance and helping our children to strike that balance between everything. And we need to do it consistently, because we cannot help a child today and said, oh, I already told you this yesterday and you're not getting it, you're on your own. That's wrong, because you and I never got it. We didn't get it. Children learn by repetition. Even all of us will learn by repetition. So that is very, very important for us. So the statement, social media is making us unsociable, reflects concerns. It reflects our concerns of parents, concerns of educators, concerns of caregivers, concerns of adults. Our concern here in on passive. Really, if you think about it, when Mr. Ashmufara says we want to be the correction to the corruption, it's a lot of things that are human related, not just money. I know a lot of us, our head is only on money, because when you do not position that money well by building a solid foundation of morality and making sure that this morality applies to everyone in the world, particularly in our situation here, to the vulnerable, then you're not doing anything. When he talks about a correction to the corruption, and then now setting in place on passive based on humans, uplifting human beings, really making sure that everybody is rich in the world. I think that is the first step of really eliminating corruption. Look at what is going on in the world. There are a lot of lies that have been told. Children are suffering without knowing what they are going through. Lies that have been told for generations to children. They don't know who they are. They don't know their values, their self-worth, their culture and tradition because of lies. And children are, we plunge them into this vast world of internet. They don't know what to do, and that is why a lot of them are misbehaving. So it is so imperative that we teach our children from our hearts. And that first step is day one, even from the stomach, like my grandmother said. Day one, you need to start, even your words, the words that you tell the child, so the child will know, okay, daddy said, mommy said, social media is for this particular time and not for this time. They will even remind their siblings, if they have siblings, that, oh no, let's not do it. It's not your time. Mommy and daddy said we should do it at this time. You will see them teaching one another. So what Mr. Ashmufara has done here, we just keep putting in our hands together that this thing go well, because it's really going to really shape the dynamics of the way that children interact with the social media. Because if you use it as a tool that focuses on human behavior and then following the ethics of how to use it, then our children will be fine. We've seen a lot of children that have been deformed. Their backs are hurting. They have a hunchback. You see, they have they sleep walk with this, because we parents have relegated our children to the social media. It becomes our babysitter, and before you know, sometimes, not even sometimes, a lot of time, kids are being kidnapped that we don't know how, and a lot of time they don't say it in the news. And we can do better. You and I, all of us here, can do better. So why do you, and you can ask me the same question, why do you think that social media can make us, or our children, unsociable? Why do you think that? Why do you think that? I know the first answer that I would give is that it's making our children unsociable because of me as a parent. I did not do my job well. I did not take good care of this child the way that God gave that child to me. I would take the first blame for myself.
Yes.
Yes, because if you do the right thing from day one, The child would never have to go the other way around, even though in every role there is an exception. But more than 85% of children will go the right way. There has to be always be that 1% that says, no, I defy all the lessons. I'm going to go my own way. We understand that. But if we start from day one, so why do you think that social media can make us or our children unsociable? I say because of me. But thank God in my case, my mom, my grandmother, we didn't have all of these luxury, that so-called social media. We didn't have that. But I had it in school to do my research, to write my thesis, my papers, and I turned it in. But I did not have any more than that. And you had to go to a documentation, you know, and do those things. So now with this luxury, that's why I become so crazy about this one now, so I can use it for one global movement, you know. But if
Yeah.
I'm doing it with that those ethical standards that are required, right? So number one, reduce face-to-face interaction. Why do you think social media can make us or our children unsociable or unsociable? Reduce. We must reduce face-to-face. It reduces face-to-face interaction. Now, you see, a lot of young boys and girls now, they don't know how to even date. We know that, right? They
Yes,
don't
we do.
have friends. They are lonely. And now they start complaining, they start getting upset. And then, you know, when a child gets to a certain age, it's just normal, it's natural that they have to express themselves, try to find their identity, and dating is part of it. Dating is part of it. We can't stop it. But if we have not taken the time to teach these children how to go about things by really connecting with them as parents, as caregivers, what do you think they're going to do out there when time comes for them to date? They won't know what to say to a girl. They will not know, you know. And now they'll be expressing their words in their frustration because they were buried in social media like this, go like this, games like this, you know. So that alone, let me see. Melanie is trying to connect here. Melanie Mukamugema. Oh, Melanie, I don't know why this thing is making like this.
Did she say anything today? I mean, they might have fixed it by now. What is she saying? I don't see.
The device, the device is not connected. It says, Melanie, I feel so bad. I don't know what I can do on my part here.
Because it can't be the link because I've gotten in clearly and John is in. So
Yeah, yeah. She wants to come to the panel, so I don't
I
know
know
if
that's what I'm saying. So it can't be the link because
keep
or
trying, my sister. I'm really sorry.
does she have Melanie? I'm gonna send her the link in Messenger. I mean,
Yeah, send it to in Messenger and
yes.
what's we have it in the mothers group. You can also send it in WhatsApp so she can just click on it and let's see
Okay.
the panelist link. Yeah, thank you.
Mhm.
And now, you know, social media often substitute in-person conversation with messages and comments, which lack the depth and nuances, the little things of direct human interaction. Body language, you have the tone of the voice, facial expression, and eye contact. Crucial parts of communication, and these are very crucial because face-to-face human, this one is part of it, but it's not real now. So someday when we meet, then we'll see that even better. And then we talk about superficial connection. With social media, there is a tendency to focus on quantity over quality. A person like they say, "Oh, I have only." Can you believe that my beautiful post? I have only four likes. Now we are focusing on quantity instead of quality. A person may have hundreds or thousands of friends, but very good, deep, meaningful relationships. These can lead to feelings of loneliness or superficial connection. You know, we don't need too many friends, but we can teach our children how to connect, and then they will connect with the best friends. Because when you have five friends, five problems, six, seven, eight, 10 friends, 10 problems. You want to be able to belong to a group like unpassive or like one global movement that they have a focus, they have a goal, they have a mission. And the mission, if it's not focused on humans, what else? even if it's focused on other bad things, those bad things are still going to affect human beings. So we want to be able to focus with the good intention and the good thing that we're going to do. And now we talk about comparison culture is becoming unsociable because there is a comparison culture. I want to do better than this person. We hardly hear people say, you know what, I'm just going to be me. And I'm going to do me, and I'm going to do what God has put in me to do. We always see people want to be like this. Like, of course, it's good to learn. It's a good thing to learn. But what are you learning? And what are you doing with what you have learned? Because what we are doing today, we also learn from those that were here before us, like mentors, and we're doing that together. It's a good thing to learn. That's why children go to school. But when you learn, they're giving you the tools to apply to do what you have within you, not to go and copy and be comparing to other people. So there is the difference there. It's always a good thing. Learning is a lifelong thing, but are you helping yourself? Do you listen to yourself to know what you have within you to do? That is exactly what we are talking about here. So that is very, very important to emphasize to our children. This can lead to feelings of loneliness or superficial. I've seen children, and I was trying to help one child because I know the father, the mother passed in a different state in I think it's Ohio. So this child does not want to do anything only on social media. You know, it's so hard. And let us admit the truth. It's hard for the man to raise a child by themselves. By nature, it's difficult for the man to raise the child by themselves. Women can even try better, but it's even become better when the two parents are involved. But in the case one parent is no more, it becomes so difficult. And if the parent who is no more is the woman or the mother, it becomes difficult on the man. So this man,
Check on her, please. She said she's backstage now, so I don't know. Do you see her? Sorry to interrupt.
Yeah, the device. Yeah, I see you, but the device is not connected. I don't know. Let me see. They will need to connect their mic before you can add them to the screen. It says you will need to connect your mic. Aha. There we go. You got it.
Oh, nice, nice.
Welcome, Melanie.
That's how it's done.
Hello, hello.
Hi.
We don't see your camera though, so I don't know if that
Okay,
works.
now the thing did it again. So they will need to connect their mic before you can add them to the screen. Okay. I think it might be something that has to do on your part, because here I'm just waiting. If you connect it will just show, and then I'll add you to the screen. Try to connect it again and let's see what happens. Thank you. Yeah. So now, attention span and distractions. Oh, now she's connected.
Yeah.
There
Messenger is tripping. It's okay. Okay,
No,
thank
we'll
you.
still do it. We'll try 1,000,000 times.
Thank you.
That's what we do. Persistence.
Okay. We're talking about why are the children being unsociable here. Some of the reason: attention span and distraction. Social media apps are designed to be engaging, often resulting in addiction and shorter attention spans. People may spend hours on their devices, which can lead to ignoring those around them or missing opportunities to socialize in real life. I have seen this myself. It's been years behind when my son was still a toddler, and I'm still seeing it now. We went to the park where there is a lake. You know, when you bring children to play, whether they playground or to swim or to do whatever, you must put your eyes on your child 24/7, like a hawk. Okay, you have you seen the hawk protecting their babies? Don't try it. They'll peck on you until they tear you up. You know. No, but these parents, they came. They were busy. And, you know, I always say mothers, that's not to put any weight on the mother, but the mother is the one that has to look after the child the most, because they have the milk of human kindness within them. You carry that baby in you. You just have that feeling by nature that I need, where's my baby? Where's my baby? You know? So they were on their devices. They were there. Guess what? At the end of the day, when we left, they made an announcement that one child, a toddler, was abducted. Hey, I said, Lord, help me, help me. And we see, you go to the playground, you see, the child is even falling from sliding, and they were there on the phone. This is a warning.
You know, I think there should be a charge for that. I'm sorry. I am so angry about that because you spend such little time with these children, right? Because you work or whatever else you're doing, and you take them out. Shouldn't you be interacting with them? Isn't that what you take them out to do?
Yes.
How can you be so oblivious to what they're doing? And it only takes the blink of an eye for
Yes.
somebody to grab them, because that person has been watching for that chance. You don't know, you don't see them, but they have been watching.
Yes.
So it's an attack, right? And then nowadays, the minute they take these children, they harm them. It's not like before you could say, oh, well, they're going to come back, whatever it is, because it's very unusual for you to get them back in good condition now. I'm sorry to say.
Yeah, that's true. No, it's the truth. It's really the truth. People might not like you. The truth is always bitter, but it's a good thing. If we don't acknowledge, first of all, that is there and talk about it. So how are we going to help these children? Even if you have your teenager or your adult child is in school, call them, text them.
Yes.
Call, make a meeting once a week, because these children, first of all, they are lonely. They are away from home and they are focused. All the thing that they have to do, it brings a lot of, it's overwhelming to them. Make a meeting once a week. I'm saying what I'm also doing. Every week we choose Saturday to be family fun time together, or relaxing family time together, And these children, you should hear from their voices. You should see them. They are so happy. They are so happy when you do that. Let us all really be determined to do it. Otherwise, there's no need. I'm sorry to say it too, like Sister Yvonne, there's really no need to bring a child into this world if you're not going to take a child. There's really no need. And if you do, maybe you wanted a child because you think you were going to take care, and later on you change your mind because of your own selfish interest. What do? Call. And there is a place where they can take this child away from you, not to leave that child to suffer for something that they never applied for.
I agree with you. I mean, this is probably going to cause a problem speaking like this, but I really do not understand how people cannot know it's their first priority in life once you have them. There's nothing else that takes precedent over that. If you can't do it, people are so selfish. They think it's like right around now at Christmas time, they're going to adopt these little puppies because it's cute and whatever. And then by the New Year starts, they have no time for them. They abuse them. They just leave them alone. It's the same thing, and it's even more so because a human being is counted as the highest form of life, right? And so you have these children, and they're like just attachments, like things, like a handbag. They're not. They're not. You should give your life for them. That's how I see it. Right.
And it's not going to cause any trouble, because when you love children, these are the kind of firm
discussions we need to have.
That we need to have. It's not that we're not blaming anybody. Remember that a child is left alone not just because of the negligence of the parents, but sometimes because of sickness, sometimes because of death, sometimes because of divorce. A lot of things can happen. We're just trying to discuss this, and hopefully we find ways within this discussion how we can come together to take care of these children. But the children, they do well with their parents.
You know what it says though, sister, when you said that a while ago, it takes a village. Yes. So if they, if people need help, somebody to step, whatever it is, that's the kind of thing we're aiming for. Because the children are the ones who are innocent, and we are all responsible for them.
Yes.
Hi.
Hello, Sharon. Welcome.
Hello.
Yeah, and I'm just gonna do this, and then we just go into ways, because we cannot talk about this without looking for ways. What can we do to try to help ourselves and these children? We are all involved here, not just the children, because the children take from us. If they don't see us doing it, they're not gonna do it. They're not going to do it. So, 1 out of 10 children can fall apart, even though we're teaching them the right thing. But most of them, they will do as the parents do it. So, echo chambers and isolation algorithms tend to show users content that aligns with their existing beliefs. This means, you see, when you go to type something, most of the time, AI already put that thing there for you.
Yes.
And they think they can read your mind well. But what happens if you don't check very well? You're going to have a poor sentence structure. You're going to have poor spellings and other things because they're trying to say, oh, I can know what you want. It's happened to me a lot now because when I want to do anything, research, about one global movement, they're already putting things there for me. I said, no.
Oh, I know. It happens to everybody.
And now it's want me to say. I want to speak from my mind and my heart. I want to speak from my own experience. I'm not going to be speaking from those algorithms.
And it's worse now. If you look at Google, they are using the AI now. So the first thing that comes up is the AI generated stuff. So if you really want to see real stuff, you have to drill down a little bit deeper, or maybe even use another browser or whatever, because I don't know what Google is doing now. Everything comes up. It tells you that it's AI generated, but that doesn't help you if you're looking for information and you think this is going to be accurate, but you have to be careful, super careful. It's not just spelling mistakes anymore, because what if they say something that doesn't align with what you're wanting to say? Because it's people that's putting information there, so they can put whatever they want. And this is what we're going through now.
Sentence structure, when you say this, those sentence structure, that is not going to be what you want. They think this has to apply to everybody. That is why when we're talking about academy, it has to be tailored to meet the specific needs.
And it will be. Yes.
Yes. Other people from outside need to follow this pattern, because you can't just generalize children. That is why you find a lot of children having emotional disturbances, because they have been squeezed into this one big hole. They don't know how to go out. And now they have this knowledge here. They don't know how to express it. The energy is there. And then now it busts out into different things. And we start diagnosing them and say, oh, this child is this. What's wrong with this child? We need to take time. We, the parents, the mothers that are right here on this screen now and in the chat, and the fathers, particularly the mothers, we need to be there, putting our hands together, putting our minds together and everything together, teaching one another. We women supporting one another, saying that, oh, Sister Yvonne, Sister Melanie, or Sister Sharon, what can we do differently to really help this situation of children? We need to. It takes all our brains and our efforts and our resources to be able to do that. So what can we do about the fact that social media is making our children unsociable? What can you do about it? Let us just push in and bring out these solutions here, all of us. I have my own solution, but we need to mix these solutions up,
Yeah. Well, I have no idea where to start, except, as it always, it starts with us. And I don't know if we can catch up now, because if you see what's going on out there. First of all, the teenagers or whatever, they already think that they know it all because it's on social media, or they found it on YouTube or whatever, things like that. How do you walk back from that? I don't believe in brainwashing, and I don't believe you're going to get them and force them. So I don't know how it's going to work out, sister. I mean, the mothers who want to mitigate this might need support. Yes. You know what I mean? So it would be about forming more groups, saying where you can come, and if this is happening, how it works for somebody else. Maybe you can try this. It's always going to be FaceTime, as you say, and hands-on, right? Yes. Because that is the only way to do this. You can't brainwash people now. And I know that young people and teenagers who already have grown up in this culture, society, they think everything they see on there is the right thing, and you don't know a thing. That's what they think,
Yes.
So, yeah. Sister Sharon, you have something to say there. Your mic is open.
Yes.
Well, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everybody. Greetings from Canada.
Hi.
And happy birthday for anybody that is celebrating their birthday today. I didn't write it in the chat, so I have to say it now. Okay. And, I just wanted to touch on what Dr. Mundih was saying about, social skills. And not only social skills, there's the personal skills, the eye contact, the tone. And, when we're talking about the tone, with the tone, like when you're sending a text message to somebody, because with especially 13, 14-year-olds, 15-year-olds, if they're angry at their friends or whatever, they're cussing them out through text message. And usually if they're face to face, they probably wouldn't say the same thing. And so when that comes in mind, you should talk to your children and ask them, show me one of your text messages that was either not so friendly or that you're having an argument with somebody. Show me your text message. Let me see it. And then go over it and read it with them. And you yourself, as an adult, we sometimes send messages that we shouldn't send. And so you have to, practice what you preach, right? And so look at a text message and say to them, is there another way you could have handled this? I think this message shouldn't have been said over text. You should go talk to your friend about it. You gotta bring back those social skills. With social skills and personal skills is, there is no eye contact. You see a lot of families out for dinner, and everybody, including the parents, are on their cell phone. They're not talking to each other. And you need to have an open dialogue, open conversation with your children, especially when they hit the teenage years. And, so you really, really got to, start the conversation and see where their head is at and where they are going, And so I just wanted to touch base on that. And before I go any further, you know what I'm going to say? If you haven't hit that like button, hit it right now. And don't forget to share with all your friends and family. Tell them to come on over to One Global Movement. We're here waiting for them. And give us a thumbs up. Yes, a thumbs up. Now, I just wanted to tell you that I heard about this really good book just the other day. I haven't read it myself yet, but if anybody likes to read, I think this would be a really good read. And it's a story about a billionaire's son. The billionaire is from one of the largest tech companies called Fargo Text Company, FUEGO Text Company, and his son. And so he decided to, how some of us, want to go away on a wellness trip, and we go away. And when you go away on wellness trips, you unplug. There's no cell phones, no TV, no computers, no nothing, and you eat healthy food. Salads and fruits and vegetables and stuff like that. So this billionaire decided to send his socialize to this retreat. And when he sent it to him, the kid didn't know what to do. He was mad, angry, didn't know how to socialize. He spent most of the time, for the first week, he was by himself. He didn't talk to anybody. And he was very angry at the world. And then one day he found a lizard. And the lizard was pretty cool. And all the kids were just like, oh my God, that is so cool. You found a lizard. And they bonded over this lizard. And the rest of the time he had friends. And so it's a really good book. And it's written by Gordon Carman, Korman, first name Gordon. If anybody is interested, you should check that out. And that's mainly all I have to say at this moment. Back to you, Dr. Minnie.
It's great. Thank you. That's wonderful. We're waiting on our sister, Melanie. Okay, there you go.
Thank you, sisters. Yvonne, Sharon. Hi, everybody in the chat. Hello. Yeah, social media, good and bad. It's good that we can connect with people like on Passive, for example, in the different groups, people from far away that we knew we left home in our homeland, and even everywhere, connecting around the world. At the same time, social media has its downfall. While we are educating ourselves, through maybe creating stuff and other things, our children, I don't have small children, but I do have a lot of small kids in my family, like grandnieces, nieces, and all. Number one, if I remember most recently, Sister Yvonne, I mentioned when I went to South Carolina, my little niece, who's 8, she came with us. And it's very long distance trip, 19 hours, right? As I mentioned, to go and to, you know what she said? She told her mom, Mommy, I am, and her mom is young too. Mommy, I'm enjoying the best of the trip. That's my best because she loves to draw. At her age, tender age, this child can draw up a storm. She loves to be on a cell phone and other social media stuff, right? But just because that cell phone was not with her and we were going on the trip, she was entertained by the things that she saw along the way. So maybe parents, again, we are not here to judge, as you said, Sister Yvonne, we know that. But maybe parents can forget about the cell phone. I mean, they have to have it with them, but keep the child's cell phone because each child nowadays, I noticed, has a little tablet. They have maybe 2 cell phones, even the high phones, i6.
Yep.
A mom got mad at me when in church when I said to her, I know that you wanted to play. As soon as I said that, she gave me that look. I said, I'm going to cross it by saying it anyhow. iPhone 6, 6 years old. And then she gave me the look. So I said, another parent saw it and she said to me, wow, the look that she gave, you could kill. I said, I don't care. Because whilst you're sitting on the pews in the church, we say we are serving the master, but they're serving another master because you give them a cell phone to shut them up. You don't know what they're doing, right? And I just find we need to go back to basics. We can mix it up, take part of the times that we used to play Ring of Roses, hopscotch. I'm sure there's children who are doing that because there's parents who make sure that their children do those things. Engage
Yep.
them in the outside. Let them learn about life, you know, like a tree. Look how the tree is pollinating. Like, look how it grows in the sprouts. And then it becomes, things like that. But instead, they have that little gadget and they get upset when the parents would snatch it from them because they're so tuned into the social media that their head is down in there. By the time they reach teenagehood, who knows? You know,
Yeah,
we have
exactly.
seen children being, as you said, adopted because they meet other people on social media whilst the parents are not taking notes. They meet. I have known 2 young guys who got killed that way. Meet them a certain way, a certain area. Sister Sharon and Sister Yvonne, you probably seen those on the news. They met them and what they do. I don't want to bring that because it sounds kind of bad, but that's the downfall. And then next thing they know, they're in the hands of a predator. They got killed. You don't hear from that child again. I mean, think of parents receiving this kind of news. Think of you being with a child and you're on your phone or you're talking to other people, you all are texting, and next thing that child run into a train. You know that one, sister. That story not too long ago. The child run right into the train. 4 years old, got killed. The child was with the cousins and them playing. You know,
Oh,
and the father is right there with other people. They have their cell. I don't know what meeting they had, but he said ever from since that day, he's regretting that he didn't pay attention. So
sure.
we have to put aside social media. While it is good for us, we have to engage. I wish I had little children, but I don't have them, unfortunately. But when they are around, I make sure that they get into drawing or do something, play Bible games. There's all kinds of things you can engage children in. Play those little games that we used to play before, hangman and all that. You would see them getting excited
Yes.
instead of throwing a phone at them and you minding your own with other adults. You're engaging with adults, but they're doing their own. Children are being shown other people's self on TV. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They show themselves to children
Yes, I know. I know what you
without
mean.
the
Exactly.
parents knowing,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Right.
And then it's a bit late because that child has been fondled with on social media. It's
Yep.
not right.
Yep.
So by
Yep.
us fostering as parents, and we don't have to be parents with little children, when we see those things, we can jump in and say something. We'll not
Yeah.
offend the parent, but say it in a way that they will understand. Even if they are mad if you at first, but after a while they'll think, okay, what the sister was saying is true. You
Mm-hmm.
know?
Yep.
Yeah. And
Anyway,
Melody, you know what it is too? Is when you're on these games like Roblox, for example, the predators go on there and become friends with the kids. They
Yes.
act like they're the same age as the child.
Yeah,
And that's how these predators are getting to our children.
exactly.
And you'd be surprised at how many kids, you got to teach your kids, not to give out information, and your camera's on so they can look like in the back of your the screen to see pictures, or look to see if there's a piece of mail with your address on it. It's very, very scary. You have to really, really be watching what your child, and ask your child questions like, who are you talking to? And 9 out of 10 times the kid will say, Johnny so-and-so, how old is he? And he'll say that. So it's really even hard as a parent to figure out if he's talking to a real adult or is it a kid. So you got to listen in and see if you can figure that out. And with also, I just want to say one other thing, with social media, especially cell phones, it also affects children's writing, because of the fact that they write in a whole different language. I don't even understand half of the things that they write, like they're writing a letter. I understand LOL, you know what I mean? And I understand a few other things, but they don't write out the word for, they put number 4 and stuff like that. And then some of the things, like I said, they do it so parents can't understand the language that the kids are talking about, and that's pretty scary. So we got to educate ourselves on the language, and the language is always changing. That's another thing. So you got to find a child that you can trust to teach you about that. And even as adults, we're always texting, and we do, like laugh out loud. For example, I was talking to a friend the other day, and she was talking away, and instead of laughing, she said LOL. And she's like, oh my, she goes, I can't believe I just said that.
I think these conversations are so natural, so basic, so down to earth. It's not like reading them in a book, because we are talking out of our experiences. But again, like we always say, it falls back to us, the parents.
It does.
It falls back to us, the adults and the caregivers. Even when these children go to school, the teachers are there. The teachers are not the parents of these kids, even though they are playing the role of not just a teacher, they are also parents, they are also counselors. But you are the owners of this. You brought these children into this world. We must take the time, because when you take the time to build that foundation from day one, even from the stomach, like these games that you guys are talking about, we can formulate our own family games. We don't just even have to buy those games, because my son is 23 now. And, I started very young with the social media thing. Even no matter how you start, they're still going to do most of their things, they're doing it online. But when you put those rules in place and you put these family games in place, I bet you they're going to come. Mommy, can we play a game? Daddy, let's play this game. That's what my son has been doing. And then he can draw those games. Some he will do them by himself. Some he will go and buy like these I don't know how they call it, where you just shoot a bin ball into a hole. And I kept defeating him. He said he's not giving up until he wins too. He's not going to give up. How is it that I win him when he is more talented than me? I said, okay, let's keep going. So those games, when we do that with children, this is what is going to shift them. I will do it with love, just like with even the tone of voice that we are talking about. If you start being harsh, even me, when you are harsh to me, you're pushing me away emotionally. Emotionally, I will withdraw without knowing. Without knowing. If you're criticizing me all the time, or you're putting me down all the time, or you're making as if I'm not a human being or I don't belong, children withdraw, and children build this wall of distrust. They cannot. A lot of parents, their children don't trust them because of their behavior. So we are pleading. We're not accusing people. These things happen. These are realities. I have experienced that myself with my biological father. It's not something that I'm just saying. I have experienced that, and we need to come back to that family dynamics, and let us start very young. What is our family dynamics? What is our family culture? What are we putting in place? I bet if we do these things, the first 7 years, these children will always be, I'm going home to play with my mommy and daddy, or with my siblings, and then you also integrate them with other families that Do not let your child go visit a family without you knowing that family. That family, you need to know, where is my son going? Or where is my daughter going? Do I know these parents? Have I spoken to them? You need to go there and see them. I'm the kind of a mom that is too much sometimes. My son is like, you are such a mom. I say, yes, I am such a mom. Okay. So I go and see, because I've seen what is going on in the world. It's not good for our children.
Nope.
Especially nowadays.
That's all I have to say. And I think,
and don't judge. Try not to judge your child either. Try not to judge them.
Yes.
Try to understand them and where they're coming from, and have that conversation with them.
Yeah. And don't compare them. The worst thing is to compare your child. I made a mistake. I didn't know the language too. That's why we need to think before we say. I used the language that was, my son fell so down. He said, Mommy, you can't compare me with that. No,
of course.
And then other mothers, they were comparing their children to my son. They were all friends. I said, no. When children are together, every child has a point where they are great at, because that's their gift. You cannot say this child is more than the other children. That is putting the other children down. And we shouldn't even be saying that here, because we all are here. We are great. And you come with your own, you come. When we put this together, it becomes so powerful for all our children, for ourselves. Wouldn't you be proud that we are doing all of the, look at the points that you guys just raised. Left to me alone, I would not be able to raise all those points. And it therefore makes it so powerful that we will continue to do this for our children. And we call upon everyone, please, please, if you know for some reason, maybe by illness or war or maybe just maybe anything, or death or divorce, and you're struggling with your child, ask for help. Ask for help. It might not be from us, because there are other very good organizations out there. So you need to really dig in and carry out your interview. Don't just give your child, here you go. You have to interview those people 1, 2, or 3 times before you decide to give your child somewhere. And we are pleading for all parents to do this, please. Because if you see me here today, if my grandmother did not invest in me and that village, I would not be here today. I would have been dead. Okay. So I cheated death. And for that reason, I take it so seriously. And I speak with a lot of passion and power, because I know what children go through, because I have gone through it. All right. And sometimes, even if some of the parents, they take advantage of them. These parents don't know how to advocate for themselves. And then people take advantage. And these are good parents for their children. And they take advantage. Before you know, they ruin the children. Let us take care of our children. Children thrive when they are with the parents or the family. But when they adopt children, a lot of times, you erase the culture of the child. And that child is never going to be the same. There's always going to be a loophole that says, I'm lacking something. What am I lacking? And they don't know how to find that something. So thank you guys so much for that.
Another thing about asking for help, though, for parents, is that sometimes this social systems are so punitive. They're so quick to take away people's children. Yeah. And that is so devastating, because you have to be careful to get the right empathic, pathetic person to deal with, because they're so case overloaded or whatever. They don't have time to sit around and really work things out with you. They're not counselors. They're just bureaucrats. I'm sorry. They just want to get the paperwork done, and you lost your child. And that is worse for the child now. So, we need prayer in all these circumstances, because yes, a woman might be, it's a woman normally. I mean, I guess men are too. But what I'm saying is, you might be having some difficulties, and maybe you just need a breather, whatever it is. But that can be a death knell for your relationship with your child. Because the system, you get involved with the system and you get the wrong person, and the chain just starts. I've seen that, and it's worse than what was happening.
Exactly. Talk to your doctor too if you're looking for help with your child for whatever reason. Start by asking your doctor. They usually know the right people to send you to, and the kids, what would they do? They would Google it, right?
Well, the doctors are very good, because when you go to the clinic or the hospital, they always have resources to present to you. Are you safe in your home? Those questions are not there for just being there as questions. They are very important. They want to make sure that the children are safe in the home, And when the children can answer those questions, children just intuitively, they will answer without even thinking. And usually they give the right, the true answer. Not
the
thinking,
authentic, yes,
the authentic answer. So when they ask those questions, please, let's let the children answer. If you're like my son, because we raised my son all inclusion in the conversation. He talks too much. I want him to not just talk when when he was little. And then he would say, please, doctor, can you go wash your hands? You are a doctor. You're supposed to wash your hands before you touch me. He said, mommy, hey, don't pinch me. I said, no, I'm not pinching you. I'm sorry. I'm just trying to.
That is hilarious.
The doctor will go and wash their hands and then come before touching him. And they ask, are you going to be a medical doctor? I said, no, I'm not going to be a medical doctor. Another occasion, my mom, the grandmother is sick, My son said, I'm really tired of you. Grandma is always sick. And now I'm not going to school tomorrow. I'm going to go to the doctor and consult. Now he gets on the computer. He starts doing research. Grandma, which place hurts? What is hurting? And then he's writing everything. And then he does his research. He said, I think you have Crohn's disease, Grandma. Because when you have 3 or more symptoms of a particular thing, this is what happens. I go to the hospital to make sure maybe you and mommy are not consulting right. So, and they consulted, the doctor said they should go and give poop. He said, doctor, excuse me. It looks like my grandmother has Crohn's disease. I said, how do you know? He said, I did my research, and it says when you have 3 or more symptoms of a particular something, the likelihood that thing is there is possible. Guess what? He saved my mom. They did the test for Crohn's disease. My mom had Crohn's disease.
Oh my God.
was so mad that the child was talking and came back and apologized to my son. Yeah, so let's listen to these children because their brains are ticking, tick, 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 tick. They know things. But let us, if we have the love within us, if we really have love for these children, I bet you we'll be doing the right thing for them. But let us get them involved, included.
Another thing I think, Sister Yvonne and the others who are there, the body system is a great thing. Body. Meaning, there's parents, say 3-4 parents together, they look out for each other, just like they have the community watch. So that parents will say, because I used to do that. I'm very open with people, but I watch who I am open to, right, or with. So if that person is not there to take their children to school, you, the other parent, is responsible. You can walk the 3, 4, 5, 6 children because it's parents involved. Then the next time, whoever is off will take that turn. And I used to do that and sometimes, I would look out the window and I'm saying, okay, I'm going to pick up my son, but I see my neighbor who I have spoken to is bringing my son, and she'll come and we'll talk. And I said, thank you, because this is what we are like. We're supposed to be like sisters or brothers, even if we are not related. And we can open up and talk to people because the warmth that you will share with people will get them gravitated to you, and your children in turn will be like family. And that's what I used to do, build a bond. If I see them getting each other, little blood on their skin, they're trying to bully, I would call. And I said, no, the police is not going to get involved, but I'm going to talk to you as a parent. And I used to invite them to my home. If there's little popsicles, whatever, I would prepare little things. And they would say, Miss Melanie, they would come and say, welcome. It doesn't matter what race, what color, I would invite them. And because of that, my son would have friends, even when they went to high school, a group of them. But then my home is warm, so they don't want to go back to the afternoon class. I said, no, you're going to go back because I don't want any head principal calling in my home to say that I am a bad mom to keep you here. You have to go. Because one of them fell asleep and I said, you have to get up and go. And he said, yeah. So you have to be able to talk to children. And I know we are doing that, our due diligence.
We are doing it, but it's just, we're talking in general terms, Yes. We are already doing that. I clap for you because that's what I did. My son went to school out of the district because I wanted him to study not just in English, because he was born speaking English. Why can't he study in another language? So I sent him to a French immersion school. It's out of our city. So we go for 6 years to take him there. But along the line, mind, we bonded with other parents that were doing the same thing. Now we shared transportation. One of the sister to the family that we used to share together, and she sees my son, and I say, "Oh my goodness, I can't believe this. This is my child. Look at the way he is right now." And so bonding together and sharing transportation is not just only helping those children. At the same time, it is helping with global warming. Instead of you driving a car, I drive my car, this one drives a car, emitting all that carbon monoxide into the atmosphere, destroying the environment as well. And this is not healthy for us as well as our children. These things are just so beautiful if we can just manage to do that. And you guys are in Canada. I know that you guys beat me up here today. I'm the only one in the United States. So you guys are overtaking me. All right, that's good. So there are a lot of great things we can do, but until we here start doing it, and because a lot of parents don't know, depending on their life experiences and their orientation, they don't know. But if we start opening up our hearts now, they will know there's always a way out.
Yes.
Always a way out. And so we are doing it now. Thank God for everything. So thank you guys so much. We're just going to appreciate everyone by name, and we can call it a day. But thank you guys for hopping on the stage here, especially Sister Sharon, who is always on the go, still celebrating 20 years in business. Do you guys know that? 20 years in business is a big thing, and we need to celebrate us here, because we have a lot of business people here, not just women. We have even kids that are doing business. My son was selling pencils and some kind of special pens, I don't know, and also selling his books to promote early reading in children. So that is very important. Thank you so much, Sister Sharon, for the great job that you are doing. And then one thing that I want to say here, please, if anybody has anything that they want to do on behalf of One Global Movement or for One Global Movement, let me know. Because we need to follow the rules and regulations of this of here, because I registered here with the federal government, and what we are doing here, they are always checking to make sure that we are doing the right thing, and hopefully they are also seeing that it's the right thing, because sometimes even those that are put in place to check and monitor things don't really know what they are doing as well, and they know it from one perspective and not from the other perspective. But so with us here, they will know that we are doing the right thing because it comes from different perspectives. So if anybody wants to do anything, let me know. What I would do is, because I will go through the lawyer for One Global Movement and make sure that they will see what you're doing. If it's okay, first of all, I have to read it. And then I will attach our mission statement there. And then we sign. I will sign, because if anything, they're going to come here. Mundih, okay? So I will sign, and then that way it is very authentic, and that will make resources to come more to us. They will see what we are doing in the world. It's not just running from trouble. It is making sure that these children, they will trust what we are doing, and the people that supervise all of this nonprofit, they will also know what we are doing that is authentic, and then that way they will bring a lot of resources, because what we are doing here, when we start, it's going to go in different countries, because no country is going to wait. And so it's going to go through us, we, the descendants of Unpassive. This is what we are doing here, because this is Unpassive here. There are other people out of Unpassive. Hopefully when time comes, they will join us too in Unpassive, and let us build this generational wealth together for our children. So I just want to say that if you have anything, don't stay back with it. It is good to let us know, let me know, because I am the face. If anything happens, good or bad, it's going to go through me. But I don't want any bad thing happening, because we want good things for our children, right? So let me know before you can do it, so that nobody uses One Global Movement logo or name anywhere without permission. So thank you guys so much for listening to that. I'm saying that because I see some people already using One Global Movement. That's why I'm making this announcement, and I will continue to make it as time goes on.
Sister Yvonne, can I quickly say something?
Okay.
Okay, quickly. So I created something myself with what I had come on the platform with, and it is legit. I had to have my business ID, government ID, everything. But it's not, I explained to them, it's there's the big umbrella group, which is One Global Movement, but this is my part. And from there, it's going to go over to, your organization, but I did not mention your organization in what I'm doing. You know what
Okay.
I mean? So it's something that is legit, as I mentioned,
I
and
will, okay, we'll think about that. Well, you
yeah,
say
and
you created
it's
something
online.
that you're going to do for your own organization, but it's going to go under one global movement. Is that what?
Exactly.
Okay, but you didn't mention one global movement.
No, in what I did not mention one global movement because I know for a fact that it has to be approved or endorsed by you. So I
Yeah.
did it from my side, but I explained to them because they asked me to write a little blurb about what I'm doing and where it's going. So, and they had to approve it.
Yeah.
Okay. If you when if you can send me what you wrote to them, that's okay. I know that you're going to write the right thing, but it's just good for me to read it.
Yeah.
And yeah, if it's that's what we are doing here. We bring all of these things just like we are doing here with Unpassive. Bring our little endeavors under Unpassive. So we want to be able to, if we can read it and then and see what happens, and then we can take it from there.
But it's online, so I don't know. I would have to for the copy and paste. It's already online.
Okay, take a picture like
Okay.
this and send it to me.
Yeah, I will
Yes, then I will
screenshot.
read it.
Take a
Okay.
screenshot and just
A
send it over.
screenshot, yes.
Screenshot. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you so
No
much.
problem.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah. All right.
Welcome
Thank you
now.
guys so much. I'm just gonna really appreciate all the names here because I know that you guys are doing a wonderful job at what you're writing here. Thank you so much for your contribution. We have our brother from the sunny Pretoria, brother Levi Mama Bolo. Thank you. And of course, the managing director is here. Sir Kayanderi, thank you, thank you. And we have our brother Gutam and Ceci Wire. I appreciate all of you here. So Dam Saha. Sometimes I see a name, maybe it's a new name. You're welcome into this global family. Thank you so much for supporting women, children, and young people worldwide. And of course, thanks to our beautiful sister here, Sister Sharon, with all the way you're advancing with those graphics is only God alone who knows. So thank you so much for what you are doing. Thank you. And we have our beautiful sister Melanie as well on the panel. It makes it so sweet and so beautiful and so lightweighted when people just come and fill the screen here, isn't it? I love that.
Yep, that's how it was meant to be.
Yes, yes, yes. And we have our beautiful sister Nancy. How are you? Thank you, thank you, thank you for being here today. And I know Sister Sharon already wish everybody a happy birthday.
She did, she did.
And Sir Rita Mani Day, how are you? Thank you for joining us today. We appreciate you. And we have Goldie, Goldie Carr. How are you? Thank you for joining us again today. We appreciate you. And let's go here. Sir Ojala, how are you? Thank you for being that strong pillar behind our children. And let's go down here. And we have Nakutala. How are you? Thank you. Thank you. I highly appreciate all of you here for doing what you are doing. And may God bless your souls. And let me go down here. We have, I know Sister Yvonne's eyes are better than mine. I have 4, she has 2. But her eyes are better than my eyes, so I want to take my time so I don't miss anybody. So we have Sir Jivan Turkey. How are you, sir? Thank you so much for joining us again here today. We appreciate you. And then we have Shekar Stefan. How are you? Thank you, thank you, thank you. We miss you, but you're here today. Thank you so much for supporting children worldwide.
Mm-hmm.
And here you have the link. If you go to One Global Movement Facebook, you can like and follow so that we continue to build those resources that we need for our children worldwide. And encourage other people. Let us share this because if you care for your children, you should be able to care for children in your entire family, in your community. And why not in your country? Do something. We have organizations. You attend meetings, you attend webinars, you attend service, you attend, you have youth groups in the community, you go to school, library, spread the message because we want every child to be reached. No child deserves to be left behind.
So, excuse me, sister, for all you Americans, John Managing Director is in the chat, encouraging and joining everybody to go and vote.
John, no politics here, okay? No politics here, John. Let us, we are here only for our children.
Well,
Okay.
you know.
All right, John, happy voting. Children, they will vote in the future, but let us teach them the basics here first. And we have Skajafa Alisaka Mondal. Thank you so much for being here. And we've come to the end of today's webinar. Thank you guys so much. And I want to thank
Can I say final words, Dr. Mooney, please?
you are going to close the meeting. That's what I was going to do with you.
Oh,
So
sorry. Go ahead.
so thank you guys so much, and thank you, Melanie, for being here this week. We are really so happy and so proud to have you here. Thank you. And so yes, you are the children's mentor, the only female children's mentor. So you have the final word, and then we say bye-bye to everyone. Thank you.
Okay, well, what I have to say for my final words is parents, aunts, uncles, anybody that have children, especially teenagers, don't be afraid to take their phone or their laptop and computer and just check and see what they're looking up. Check their internet history. See what they're looking up. If anything's questionable there, ask them about it or click on it and find out what it's about. Because you never know when your child is engaged with something inappropriate. So always, every once in a while, just check their internet history. And also, I can't stress how important it is to always keep an open conversation with your children. Always try to talk to your children. And if you can, please try to have an unplugged day. Like have an unplugged day, or even at dinner time, go back to the basics and sit down at the table all together without your phones and computers and all that. And, it's even hard because, especially phone addiction is real. And a lot of adults are guilty of phone addiction. So put your phone in phone jail during dinner time. Sit down, have dinner with your children, and have that open conversation with them. Ask them what's new, what's happening, what did they learn today. Just keep that dialect open and check on what they're playing, all their games. Check on their games and stuff like that. Like go on there and pretend you're your child and ask questions to some of the kids that they're talking to see if you can figure out if he's really talking to a child or is he talking to a predator. So it is very, very scary. And I don't even know how parents even do it these days, because today's world is very, very scary. There's so much more that we got to protect our children from. And try to get them to read. I know sometimes it's difficult, but find out what they're interested in. If they're interested in superheroes or something like that, start them off with comic books. And then hopefully when they're reading comic books, it gives them, they'll be like, oh, well, reading's actually pretty cool. And maybe they'll read something else. Yeah. So, try to get them to read a book. It's hard because, they'll tell you everything's online. I don't need a book.
No, they need it. I need it.
But there's something about holding a book in your hand and reading it. It's so much better.
That's why we encourage creating a home library. Very important. You read online, but let's create those home library. Let's bring these books out they can buy. You say that thing about checking. This is how I do it, so the kids don't think that we are only checking them because we are afraid that they're going to do something online. This is what I do. When we make it, I said, okay. I tell my son, can you go check my computer or my laptop to see if I was doing the right thing, because I might have accidentally click on something, and which is true. That this is not just saying. When they see that, oh, they're going to check, they say, Mommy, be careful, don't do this, don't do this, don't do this. And then when you are going to check this, they just say, oh, it's time to check the computer just to make sure that everything is working well. You make it fun. They are getting involved. They know that they're also checking Mommy and Daddy. And because Mommy and Daddy too is also checking them. And a lot of time, they're going to be teaching you a lot of ways that we don't know. So you brought that. I'm so happy. Let us do it, not just you having that authority. Make it like something we're trying to protect us and also protecting our gadgets from hackers and other things. And you will be surprised what they'll be telling you, because my son told me a lot of things. Mommy, I taught you not to do this. It looked like you did it. He checked. I didn't know what I was doing. He checked. Everything was okay. So let's get them involved, and all of us, not like somebody is doing it and the other person is not doing it.
Right.
All included.
Exactly. Mm.
All right. Thank you guys so much. I love you, these beautiful ladies on here, for
Yeah.
joining us.
Bye.
And everybody in the chat, until tomorrow, we love you. Bye bye.
Love
Thanks
you
for
all.
being here. Bye, everybody.
Bye. Bye.
Enjoy the rest of your day.
You too. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.